Kealakarai is a municipality in Ramanathapuram district in the Indian state of Tamil Nadu. As of 2011, the town had a population of 38,355.
At first we divided the Kealakarai town into 6 nodes. Each node worked around 60 to 80 hectares of the town. At the beginning of the studio we were assigned the 5 stages of design progress along with the date of submissions.
Sixth century. Chakanatrakoval, one of the first built temple. Construction started around 630 AD and was completed in 712 AD. Varagunapatians offered this temple to Abraham family, at the time of Prophet Muhammad in Arabia, 6th century. Bedouin Sahabi came to Kealakarai to spread Islam. He built a mosque with the help of Persians and Romans, established the Kealakarai in 639 AD, as trading was very prominent. For praying the merchants allotted a small place for prayer which was established before Kealakarai. Now it is rebuilt. The old mosque is still there. In 7th century AD, Arabians and Yemen settled down in east side of Kealakarai. Moors, Maracars. Similarly, Portuguese merchants established praying place now known as St. Anthony Church. Kealakarai is affected several times by natural calamities. Once tsunami attacked in 1195, again in 1480 it was hit by cyclone and everything destroyed the Tondalamellakarai. The 9 bungalow area, the west part was then known as Kealakarai, which only survived the cyclone, thus the city named Kealakarai. At this time Kealakarai Strait in Bamban were enlarged. 12th century. 12th century saw great trading in Kealakarai with different merchants. It is mentioned in Tower of Nelisi Mayithriapudayar Temple, beginning of 14 and 15th century, they used dinar and dirhams. Dinara and dirama. In 15th century St. Panatra Church was built, giving birth to the Christian community around it. In 16th century Portuguese colonization in Ceylon. Sri Lankan Moors settled down. Many structures like Kalpi in 16th century, St. Anthony redevelopment, Othakarai, Jamapalvisal established in 17th century. There can be little doubt that these enterprising folk are the descendants of the Moria traders mentioned by Barbosa. They must be classified as a mixed race springing from the union of Arab traders with women to the country. There were traces of cultivation as shown. The settlement in Kealakarai evolved based on the river and the river-based cultivation. Kealakarai is a part of Ramid dynasty which was ruled by Sathapathi kings. It is also called the Marva dynasty. Sathapathi simply means protectors of Sathu. Sathu refers to the Ramar bridge. There are traces of Kealakarai in the maps. Until 17th century Kealakarai has not been mentioned, even though settlement started long before. People at Kealakarai are Tamil-speaking Hindu race converted to Islam with some admixture of Arab blood. They are described as industrious and enterprising, plucky mariners and expert traders. Some are divers in the pearl and shank fisheries of the Gulf of Mannar, and others are weavers of sedge mats. A good deal of trade is carried on Penang and Singapore, and among imports from those pigeons is the Malay blowgun which Dr. N. Annandale found in use at Kealakarai for shooting pigeons.
Studying the morphology to know the settlement pattern and growth of city. This is the assumed morphological map derived from the timeline and river settlement pattern, as we could not get any authenticated documents for morphology. Introduction. This junction road node is the north part of the town. The road from Ramanathapuram and Ravati connects this junction road, which is the entry to the town. Pleasantville portal to the town. Constraints. Lack of Pleasantville visual approach to entrance. Scattered commercial development. No pedestrian sidewalks. Overhead electrical cables affects visual experience. Opportunities. The road stretch makes visit effect. Developing commercial edges. There is space for developing pedestrian sidewalks, providing underground cable system. Kilikarai is an Islamic town. The structure designed based on Islamic architectural style. The gateway designed as vault with equilateral pointed arch. The proportion is based on golden rectangle ratio. The junction has massive structure as a landmark. It gives grand entrance to the town. Commercial decentralization. Kilikarai is developed in a cluster manner and the development of the commercial is in the core of the town. The Kamathi Milk Shop node is the commercial hub of the town with 45% of the commercial space of Kilikarai. It is in Kamathi Milk Shop node which leads to traffic jam and some inconvenience. Junction Road node is the entrance to the town and developing zone. It got the opportunity for the commercial decentralization and development. Knowledge Center. Other than the services, this node has only the spiritual public amenities. The residential zones are inactive without connection to the public amenities. We have university and more other educational institutions in Kilikarai, connecting from Ramanathapuram to Salkudi. There are over 40 rural villages around this region. Students and teachers are from various areas are into this area due to its strength of institutions. Intermediate Zone. Kilikari's graveyard is placed in the Junction Road node. It is the prime junction of the town. The location of the graveyard restricts the development of the surrounding areas. As the surrounding space of graveyard is not developed, neighborhood people dumping solid waste here. It affects the visual experience.
A node can be characterized as a unique typology compared to other nodes right from the case of settlement evolution to sewage system. The node is concentrated by the Hindu population, which is mainly because of the development along the Hindu Bazaar. We can notice gradual development in the settlement pattern mainly over the period of 30 years. It was a recent development compared to the age of Kilikarai. Some of the main attractions include bus stand, Hindu Bazaar, fish market. The node is categorized with two extremes: bungalows and individual houses with wider roads, and on the other hand we have wall-to-wall construction with the narrow lanes. On understanding the problems we tend to activate the life of urban spaces. As a result, the following proposals. Main docking point contains 20-30 cycles, whereas sub-docking station contains 8 to 10 cycles. Cycle track are designed around Kilikarai with 2 meter wide for two-way flow of cycles with bollard on each sides of track to create segregation from traffic. Relocating bus terminal. The existing bus terminal is comparatively less active. It is situated at inappropriate location which results in less functionality. The approach to the terminal is through a bottleneck entry which makes it inconvenient for the vehicular traffic. The proposed location of the terminal is 280 meters away from Mucker Road Junction and covers an area of 8,110 sqm. The omnibus terminal is also integrated with the design. The design provides bus stops for shuttle buses for the convenience of the users. The necessary amenities which are lagging in the existing design have been addressed. The proposed terminal would create a need for commercial development. The design has been enlightened with the use of PV cells and smart signs. The smart information sign is provided on considering the welfare of physically challenged. Adaptive streets. Streets are public spaces that can support a multitude of activity, not only movement of vehicles, but also places to gather, socialize, stay and play. This does not necessarily mean a sidewalk and bike lane on every street. Individual street context is important. Some streets are temporarily closed for automobile traffic which reduce pollution generation, thus encourage walkability. We try to construct situations which would make people to socialize. Activating smart systems make the environment more sustainable. On offering charging points on furniture and poles can create better outdoor working environment. Street level vegetation offers better air quality and reduced cooling cost. These also act as microclimate modifiers and recharge the groundwater table. Terrace life. Terrace is in space which connects us to nature and can serve as an immediate outdoor space. For vision of healthy communities there are 4 components. They are seating, creative spaces, gardening and solar panels. In seating, we are providing multifunctional furniture includes pieces that can be used for more than one purpose, and we are also integrating vegetation along with furniture to create a liveliness for the space. In creative spaces, we are adding a focal point that attracts the eyes towards it. Lighting. Lighting a roof will make it look larger space. Utilizing a vertical space. Utilize vertical space to add more space to your rooftop garden. Sounds of nature. Nature has all sounds of healing and creating a terrace-level natural scenery which helps the user to explore the sounds of nature that are emotional and mental healers by itself. Gardening. Rooftop garden is to incorporate urban rooftop planting into shared design, making full use of idle space on the roof and carry out rational planning and design. We are proposing rooftop plantation furniture. Solar panels. The use of solar panels reduce the use of electricity. There are several types of solar panels. We are proposing 1 kW on-grid system. It generates 4 units in a day, that is 1,400 kWh, 1,500 kWh, which is sufficient for 2 4 BHK house. Kinetic floor tile. By stepping 250,000 footsteps in these tiles generate a maximum amount of energy that was enough to charge 10,000 mobile phones. It can also generate electricity when the sun went down. Cycling rigging bike provides 24 V 200 watt of electricity can be stored in a 12 volt lead acid battery, and these stored energy can be used even when not pedaling.
HJ School Node. HJ School is the main landmark of our node. At the time of 1960, the school was a pond and a mosque near the pond named as Kulangaraya Pippen. Settlement started based on this pond and mosque. Study and analysis. To know in detail about our node, we worked on morphology of the node, which gave us knowledge about the growth pattern of the settlement and the node. Then we worked on land use, road network, housing patterns, services and transportation through site visit. We analyze SWOT and find out the possibilities and constraints in our node. Strategies. The strategies are: 1. Defensive measures can be taken in case of sea erosion in coastal areas. 2. Reclaiming the municipal land for public space. 3. Increase production of main occupation to the extent of exporting. 4. Increasing the pedestrianism in lanes, incorporating calming devices in urban pockets in road network. 5. Open lands are becoming a useful land, paving a way for commercial and residential zones. 6. To adopt an effective method of sewage treatment in scope of the conservation of biosphere. Proposals. Seawall. Soil erosion occurred due to the rising of sea level. Seawall is designed as an recreational space to prevent soil erosion and make an entertaining environment. Fishermen. Fishermen people don't have proper environment and their income was depleted during fishing ban periods. To improve the livelihood of fishermen, proper living and working spaces designed a new source of income is introduced. Park. The land was polluted by composting dumps from the surroundings, it suffers people visually and environmentally. As by the people request, the land was cleared and proposed for public usage. The cemetery. As the cemetery land is fully surrounded with non-usable green pocket with uniform arrangements. Basically cemetery will be separate and lack of access. But by reclaiming as usable green pocket we can use it for people usage. We take the unusable land took into the urban pockets for parking the vehicle by the surrounding peoples. People park the vehicle in the urban pockets, then they walk to their house. It increase the pedestrians and lanes. Future development. As the settlement became densely and wall-to-wall construction, led to lack of green space and avoid proper wind and sunlight. We suggest that upcoming development should strictly follow the norms, rules and regulations of building development. STP. Sewage water is directly disposed in sea and open lands affect the environment. Sewage treatment plant is proposed to protect the environment from pollution and prevent water scarcity problems.
Our node will be called for early birth zone of Kealokarai. Studying the figure ground of node explains, it has no space to expand things for services, it's tightly compacted with residentials to its culture. Being birth area of town, settlement growth of this town became abundant along beach. Besides the service study of Kealokarai put downs us with their outlet of sewage and sewage water into sea directly without any treatment, which is spoiling the most valued biosphere reserve Gulf of Mannar environment. Also not good sense of leisure in the seashore. Understanding traffic and transport study. Seashore's importance was also destroyed by its access, with more residential encroachment over the growth, which couldn't extend road width. The blue space to design of our zone is of stretch 1.9 km. Kealokarai seashore is anchored along the fishing community's boats also impacts as only economic shore, not as leisure zone. Following strategies developed as proposals to our node. Reviving the beach junction at end. Magnifying lighthouse for the Oceanic scenic view. Aquarium to display the most precious species of Gulf of Mannar. Rebuilding the existing jetty bridge to Anqua boats. Leisuring margin to people leisure. Day fish market to full-time fish market for its zone vibrance. Entertainment venue within residential jungle. As Jacob says, diverse economic opportunities within local and by tourist.
9 bungalow node. After studying in detail about Keelakarai, we worked on the SWOT analysis. Strength: being the wealthiest junction as the owners of West Street are all well settled. Weakness: poor road network and 2 meters, 3 meters roads are also accessed by vehicles, thus hindering pedestrianism. Threat: the raised plinth level throughout the city due to cultural practices. Opportunity: having lots of future developing land. This opportunity is considered as a proposal to develop the Maluvadi Road and use the open land for improving heritage value of city and for commercial development. The present Maluvadi Road is a collector road. The Maluvadi Road extends up to 1.5 kilometers and terminates in Shalamnadar Salai. Paver blocks are laid throughout this stretch. Road is presently accessed by tractors, omni, lorry, auto, two-wheeler and private vehicles. It acts as a mixed lane. The Maluvadi entrance is made recognizable to prevent accidents. Intersection boards providing an ECR road for better wayfinding. The Maluvadi Road is proposed as 9 meters wide road as sub-arterial road with proper paths for vehicle and pedestrian. Providing views, street furniture, property access ramps and zebra crossings and designing proper junctions. Interpretation Center acts as an welcomable place and heritage of Keelakarai, commercial zoning. Solving the commercial need for the node and also developing the commercial stretch in the Maluvadi Road by placing catalysts. The Nilikapam ground is present in the center of the node, which should be the very potential area, but it is not utilized properly because of the inactiveness of the space.
The proposed community center in Nilikapam ground acts as an outdoor, indoor amenity center and as a communal gathering for elders and play area for kids. The community center consists of 2 blocks and a playground. The ground has a pathway that allows people to walk through it and experience the ambience.
From the road network analysis and SWOT analysis, it was clear that we need to promote pedestrianism, thus designing the walking city. Designing guidelines for the city like cutting down vehicles in some streets and using bollards for access in emergency. As we analyze that there is encroachment of the vehicles in 1 meter, 2 meters, 3 meters lanes causes congestion. Finding urban pockets to allot parking system. The urban pockets use smart bike parking systems. At the chosen site, standard parking can accommodate maximum 400 cars, whereas smart parking accommodates 1,200 bikes. Same as this, many urban pockets are found and designed. Golden Beach. The present beach is not maintained properly. The Golden Beach is proposed to develop the shoreline and as a tourist attraction for the node. The proposal consists of beach shacks, adventurous water games, fountain shows and boating.
Kamathi Milk Shop Node. History. Though Keelakarai is a coastal town, the town has a history of more than 2,000 years ago, which we get known from the names referred in Tamil literatures like Kalathagai and Aganaduru. Study and analysis. The first settlement in Keelakarai was formed at present lighthouse where the old Juma mosque were established. Later on the settlement was formed along with the masjids. Our node has residential, commercial, mixed commercial, religious building, public building and administrative buildings. Opportunities and constraints. Our node is the main congested zone because of poor road network, thus makes our node congested and traffic. Though our node has more commercial zones, reboosting the commercial zones will increase the economy and livelihood of the peoples in Keelakarai. Water scarcity is one of the major threat in Keelakarai. Keelakarai has more population in terms of living index, where the index of the town is 16,000 peoples per square kilometer. The medical facilities were less for the population of Keelakarai. Strategies. Development of public health and welfare by revitalization of existing hospital. Provision of residential lodging facility and restaurant. Reclaiming and diversification of market. Occupy outdoor space to achieve recreation area and parking area. Revival of education. Formation of underground utility duct for electrical and communication line. To provide entertainment space. Providing home for helpless. Proposal with justification. Revitalization of existing hospital improves the health care of Kealokarai by providing additional beds and additional improvements. The existing hospital facilities are not enough for the people in and around the town. Water scarcity is increasing day by day in Kealokarai. Kealokarai has enormous natural resources like seawater which can be used as drinking water. Thus providing a desalination plant will solve the water scarcity. Most of the pocket space in our node are not in use, thus converting the pocket space into cellular parking can reduce the traffic congestion and the flow of vehicles can be freely traveled without any disturbances in the road. Hindu market is the vegetable market is the only market in Kealokarai. The loading and unloading for this market were done in the main roads. This caused traffic and also proper drainage system are not maintained in the market. Thus improving the old market infrastructure and decentralizing the market in Mukku Road can lead to new development. In Kealokarai the main commercial hub is located in our node. We regulate, reboot and activate the existing commercial for the economical development. In Kealokarai and surroundings of Kealokarai has more old age and helpless people. We habitat them to make a own job by providing activities like agriculture, cottage industries, education etc. It creates an impact on social and economical activities.